What's up, guys? Joey Bell here from Tennessee with Backcountry Hunters and Anglers Southeast Chapter. The board had a lot of fun doing the Western Hunt Series last year with our antelope, elk, and mule deer hunts out west and doing the videos for that. So what we're going to do this year, I'm going to do something similar, except I'm going to do one for turkeys. I'm heading out to Nebraska at the end of April for Merriam's. So I'm going to do kind of like a vest dump video and tell you what all I'm taking out there. It's not going to be real different from what I'm going to be hunting with around here. Actually, probably it's not going to be different at all. And then we can do other Facebook Live videos later about planning of the hunt and where we're going to be staying and what type of terrain and what we're going to be expecting going out there. So this is just going to be, like I said, a vest dump, and I'll just show you all the gear that I take out west turkey hunting and what I'll also be using here around Tennessee. Start out, my turkey vest. I've had this thing for years. I don't remember the brand of it. I guess it's just a Realtree Pro Series vest, but nothing, no bells or whistles. I got a pocket from a box call, pocket for some extra strikers, and a couple extra pockets for my pot calls, inside pockets for all kinds of other stuff. Comes with a cushion. It actually has a place here I can just stick my bird in. That's came in handy over the years. And another thing I like for hunting public land, comes with this orange flag to hang out the back, because you want to be seen by other hunters, even if it is, turkey season. Everybody's hunting with shotguns or bows or whatever, but even maybe in some of the states where rifles are allowed during turkey season, that could really come in handy too. So it's been a good vest. I don't really have any plans to upgrade. Nothing wrong with it. It's just been tried and true and used for years and years, so nothing special about that. Another thing I like to carry, especially on private land around here, is a seat of some kind. It kills my back to sit just on the ground for hours on end, like if I'm hunting in the afternoon, just kind of trying to wait and see if something comes into the area. So I can't just sit on a cushion for a long time. It kills me. So I invested several years ago in one of these little chairs here, and it has absolutely saved my back many times. And I would rather leave my gun at the truck than leave this thing. It's I don't know about packing it around Nebraska all day every day. And we'll get into how I might do that later here in just a minute, but I've used this thing for years and it's done really well. If anybody has any other lightweight, durable seat options, I'm very open to them. So just shoot me a message or drop them in the comments or something, and tell me what you guys run. But I've had this thing for a few years, like I said, and I really like it. It's saved my back. Let's see. Let's start with the stuff up here. I've always worn a leafy suit or a leafy jacket of some kind, and this is the First Light Phantom leafy jacket. I also use the hood for a face mask and gloves, of course. I've always just liked leafy suits. They just help break up my outline, maybe help me get away with a little bit more movement than I probably should be moving, but I've always liked leafy suits. So that's what I'm doing there. And in my vest, I carry an extra mask and an extra pair of gloves in case I forget mine or somebody I'm hunting with forgets theirs. I always carry an extra pair of both. This is also my mouth call pouch. I just wear it around my neck, and I just have a couple mouth calls in here. If you can see that right there, the corner's kind of chewed off. These are not poodle proof. My dog, he's a standard poodle, his name's Moose, and he got a hold of my pouch one day, and decided to make an extra little vent hole in there. But it still works. I've had it for years too, and I only run a handful of calls. I'm using Appalachian custom calls. I've used these for a few years now, and I really enjoy them. They're like $5 a piece, so they're super cheap, and they work really well. I can just stick my pouch in their fridge when I'm not using them. During season, I'll have my pouch in my vest pretty much all season, but during the off season, I really try to take care of them. I stick them in the fridge, like I said, and then every once in a while, I'll take them out. I'll actually soak them in mouthwash, and I'll stick some toothpicks in between the reeds, and I'll soak them in mouthwash overnight, and this just gets the funk off of them. They smell real good. They taste good after they've been in there, and they just keep the funk off. So just take care of your mouth calls, and they'll last a long time. But Appalachian custom calls, like I said, they're $5 a piece. They're cheap enough you can buy new ones every year if you really want to. Next up is my box call. This is the very first turkey call I ever had. My dad got me this when I was probably 14, when I was just getting into turkey hunting. It's a Lynch foolproof turkey call, the one-sided model 101. I usually keep a piece of chalk in my vest too, but I have to reinvest in one of them because I can't find it. I took the rubber band and everything off mine, and I don't know why. I just took there was a little eyelet right here and another one on the side here that held a rubber band, but I just took it off. And then I keep a paper towel wrapped around it, wrapped around the base here, just so when I'm walking, it doesn't rattle and anything like that. But that's probably my most cherished thing in my setup here is this box call. I'll never get rid of it. And if I decide to ever just put it up before something happens to it, I'll do just that. I'll just put it up and pass it on to my kids hopefully one day. But I'll have that call forever, some way, shape, or form. Pot call this year, I switched from a slate. I still got the little deuce slate call that I've had for probably 15 years too. However long they've been making them, however long I've been turkey hunting, that's how long I've had that little deuce slate call. But I decided to just put it up this year, and I switched to a crystal. This is a houndstooth Dixie hen call, and one of the reasons I got a crystal was because I'm headed out to Nebraska. I kind of wanted something loud, and this thing here, it can get pretty loud. So I'll reach out there and maybe strike one up if it's windy or just in the open terrain that's out there. So crystal call. Another thing, optics. I never used to carry binoculars turkey hunting, and now every time I go outside, either hike, camp, hunt, fish, anything, I carry binoculars. I just love having binoculars. Had these for a few years now. These are the Vortex Crossfires 10x50s. They've done me really well. No complaints. They're cheap too. They're less than $200, and with the Vortex warranty, if I run these over with the truck, they'll send me another pair. And also, I carry my rangefinder on my bino harness. It just clips on there, so everywhere my binos go, my rangefinder goes. Probably won't need it turkey hunting, but I don't know, it's always good to have, I guess. I just always like having it, and it always goes with my binoculars, like I said. These are my shells this year. I jumped on the TSS wagon and went with Federal TSS. These are the 3.5 inch 8 to 10 shot TSS loads. I don't shoot turkeys long range. I've never shot a turkey over probably 30 or 40 yards, and actually most of my shots are under 20. But I really liked the TSS shot. I patterned them at 30 yards, and it was just a super uniform pattern. There were no gaps, lots of pellets. It wasn't like super constricted or anything like that, but it was just the best uniform pattern that I've shot. Now, for Nebraska has a regulation that you can't have any shotgun shot under 7.5 shot. So I can't use these particular ones in Nebraska. So I'm kind of on the look for some 7.5s, 7.5 TSS shot. If anybody wants to know where I can get some just pure 7.5 shot, that'd be great. I really like that. And I like to shoot 3.5 inch. What was the thing I saw on the internet one day? I shoot 3.5 because they don't make a 4 inch. That's me. It's probably overkill, but I like as many pellets as possible. And even before I switched to TSS, I shot number 6 shot, and I don't need any more knockdown power really at the range that I shoot turkeys, so I just like more pellets. Maybe a little bit more room for error. So that's what I'm going with, Federal TSS. And when I go to Nebraska, I'm hoping to find some 7.5 shot TSS somewhere. Another thing that's real important to carry in the vest, and y'all probably know this, but for some reason on gear dump videos or bag dump videos or whatever, you hardly ever see somebody mention toilet paper or baby wipes for obvious reasons. And these go with me everywhere, just like my binoculars. So if you've been out in the woods in a bind, you know now that having toilet paper and baby wipes is essential. This is my shotgun. This is a Super Black Eagle original. I've had this thing for about 15 years, and I've also had this, I shoot a pure gold .670 constriction turkey choke. Killed lots and lots of critters with this thing. This is my all-around shotgun. If you watch the antelope video I did for the Western Hunt series back in the fall, I shot a 300 mag, and I mentioned that I like to have one rifle. I also just like to have one shotgun, and this thing is it. I've shot everything: dove, quail, pheasant, ducks, turkeys, squirrel, rabbit, you name it. Everything has gone down with this gun. And I had it dipped a couple of years after I got it, and it's held up pretty well. I might need to get it dipped again, but some of it's kind of wearing off, and it's got some battle scars, but it does good. And it got me a BHA sticker representing on there. But zero complaints from this gun, and I always recommend a Benelli shotgun. It'll be the last gun you buy, I pretty much guarantee it. Another thing, I've always liked using decoys, and a lot of people rag on decoys. They're, it's the same reason they rag on anything else. They just don't like them. But I love using decoys. Not so much in that, they probably do come in easier. The turkeys come in easier to a decoy spread and all that good stuff. But I just like watching the show. I mean, it's awesome seeing the turkey run into the decoys and make circles around and beat your decoys up and everything else. I like watching the show. Now, when I go to Nebraska or when I'm hunting public land around here, I don't know if I'll take them or not. I'm still kind of undecided, but I do have a plan to pack them in that I'll mention here in a little bit. But I use Avian X decoys. I don't have these inflated, but I like them because you can just cram them into something and cram them into any bag or whatever else, and just put a few puffs in them and they're ready to go. This is the Jake decoy. I've had these for a few years now. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but this guy got shot last year. So I don't know if you can hear that, but that's pellets rattling around in there. And he was getting his butt whooped last year, and I took a shot at a turkey, and some stray pellets got in there, and so he rattles now, but still holds air and still does pretty good. If I do make any change to the decoys this year, I'll probably trade this one in for their half strut Jake, which is a little smaller, maybe more compact. This is the quarter strut Jake. He's kind of big, but he's done really well over the last several years. And then on top of that, in front of the Jake decoy, I run a lay down hen. I blew her up. I don't know, I like the way she looks. She doesn't require a stake or anything. Set this decoy up in front of your Jake decoy, and it's very deadly on gobblers. They hate that setup. I love the setup, they hate it. Lay down hen with a Jake behind her is very, very effective. And then also, if I carry a third decoy, it's just a feeder hen decoy. I like feeder hens instead of ones with their head sticking up. To me, a feeding hen is just a little bit more, it sets the tone for a more calm setting than a decoy with their head sticking up and kind of looking around. So nothing makes an animal feel more at ease than when they're eating. They're very comfortable. So I put a feeder hen out. I set my decoys up in a line usually. Feeder hen, lay down hen, and the Jake decoy. Turkeys tend to travel, in the same direction, so I try to set them up in kind of a line like they're traveling. But this setup right here has been really, really good for the past few years. Early season, late season, middle of season, afternoons, mornings, everything. Super easy. Like I said, you just put a few puffs of air in them, put your steaks out for the feeder hen and the jake, and then throw your lay down hen out there, and it's really, really good. What I was talking about earlier about a way to pack my decoys in, and probably my chair too, if I decide to haul it around on some public ground, I run an Everly stock pack. This is the main frame, and I also have a dry bag and 2 bat wings that I can hook to this thing. The dry bag is big enough I can cram my 3 decoys in there with their steaks and zip it to the bag, and then my bat wings can haul anything that you would carry in a day pack for all day hunting, you know, snacks and all the other good stuff. So I'm thinking about doing that. If I do decide to take my chair, I can strap it on here too. I've done it before. I did it the other day, and I'll do it again and take a picture or do a little video or something just so everybody can see it. But the dry bag with my decoys and my chair is not light. It's a little bulky. I mean, it's not heavy. It's a little bulky though. But I might try it out one day this season. If it's too heavy, I'll just eliminate my decoys in my chair, and I got another cushion here that I can carry around with me and just eliminate a lot of weight. I might just take the frame with me with my bat wings as my day pack. I can still strap a bird to this thing and haul it out of a big, deep public place if I want to. So I got all kinds of options, and I might play with a few of them the first couple weeks of the season. Another thing that people don't think about, especially going out west, is optics. You know, I already mentioned the binoculars and the rangefinder, but I'm gonna throw the spot and scope in the truck and keep it in the truck. And when we get out there, I've got a mount that hooks on my window, and I've got the tripod too. But I might stick this in the truck. I'm certainly not gonna carry it around with me, but I figure it might come in handy if we get on a big place of public or national forest or wherever out there, and see a little speck way off in the distance. Be good to get a good set of glass on it. So I run the Vortex Diamondback spot and scope. Haven't used it yet. I just bought it back in the winter time, and I haven't got to use it yet. So the Nebraska hunt will be the first time it gets used for anything hunting related. So I think that's about it. If I may have missed anything, or if anybody has any questions about what else I might take that you're curious about, feel free, like I said, shoot me a message or drop it in the comments somewhere, and I can certainly answer it. But that's kind of my setup for right now. If anything changes, we might do another video or just post something on the Facebook page. But in the meantime, like I said, we had a lot of fun with the Western Hunt series. I'm going to do this one for turkey season too. So maybe expect a Facebook Q&A later on, maybe the next couple weeks or something like that, or just shoot me a message if you have any questions at all. So that's it, and good luck to everybody this season.